Hello and welcome to TA for Traders. It is Friday the 8th of December. In this video, it's the end of the week video. We're going to look at the sentiments and the money flows in the market. We'll have a look obviously at Bitcoin. It's been a big week this week for Bitcoin, bounced up to nearly 18,000. That's taken some pressure off the commodity markets. We've seen big falls in silver and gold. That's affected the currency markets. We've seen a fall in the Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar. In other currency markets, obviously the Brexit negotiations have been affecting the pound and the euro. And the equity indices, we've had a marginal wobble in the States, but things seem to have stabilised again. And in the UK, which is perhaps the index that looks the most, perhaps the most vulnerable, it's been quite a steady week. Let's look at those charts. So starting looking at the interest rate markets, and this week you can see here we've got the US 30-year Treasury yield. It's gone. It came off early in the week, picked up yesterday and today. We've got the non-farm payrolls coming out in about an hour and a half. So obviously awaiting those figures. Overall, I would say we're still in this downtrend. We've gone into resistance at the 20-day moving average. That will push the yield back down today, I would say. Really still in a downtrend. In Europe, looking at the German 10-year yield, again you can see a downtrend. Yes, it's up today. That's on the breakthrough on the UK Brexit negotiations. But there could be further to go because the first resistance isn't until the 20-day at 0.35. But in a downtrend again, perhaps towards the lower boundary of that downtrend. And on the UK 10-year Treasury yield, obviously a big pickup today. That's taken us to the upper boundary of the downtrend. So quite interesting next week if it breaks through 135 or through that peak there, which is 137. That could break the downtrend, but let's wait and see. Momentum RSI 54.55 picking up, but that would need to get towards the 70s to see a break of that downtrend. Looking at the big story of the week, Bitcoin, as you can see, it's very volatile today, presently trading 14,768. I'm looking at the Bitstamp market for this price. Not a lot I can say about the chart really. Obviously very positive momentum, but it is very, very overextended from those moving averages. Other currencies, the pound held steady this week. Looks like a flag. We're getting the rising 20-day moving average that will give support. Momentum slipping slightly, but that's just because of the flag. But I would still view this as a flag in the bull trend. Euro's been weak this week with the not the ease, but the fact that the Brexit negotiations did prove positive, and they've moved on now to trade negotiations. That's taken the euro back below its 50-day moving average. The 20 is now going to roll over, so getting quite interesting there. And momentum has picked up to the downside, 43.94. Aussie dollar being very weak this week, commodity related, which I'll move on to. You can see the weakness. It is now oversold. I did a video on that today, which I'll be putting up shortly. Please do look at that. Because I do believe that although on the 4 hour it does look like there could be some further downside, and bounce is imminent after that. And the reason the Aussie dollar's weak is because commodities are weak. Here you can see the gold price, bearish cross on the 25th 50. And again, it's oversold, and an imminent a bounce should be expected. Oil not so bad this week. Week earlier in the week, but a bounce the last couple of days. It is bouncing into resistance, but it's good it's gone back above the 20-day moving average. I would say it's likely to create a flag formation, let the 20 kind of subside slightly and let the 50 catch up. Moving on to indices, a bit of a wobble early in the week in the S&P, but that's picked back up again, which is good. Stays above the 20 and the 50. TYIF, the trend is your friend. So keep long if you've got a long position on that until we get a definite break below the 20-day. Nasdaq, I'll just show you that. NAS 100. Excuse me. The Nasdaq did break below its 20-day, found support at the 50-day, and actually closed yesterday above the 20, so that was good. Needs to continue that momentum through next week. High volumes on the down day, so be aware of that. That could be a start of some vulnerability coming through, and keep your eye on the RSI as it seems to be creating a downtrend, although it is back above 50 at the moment. Oh, I did have the Nasdaq on there. I could have continued. Never mind. And then the FTSE, which continues to look the worst of the equity indices, but it's had a reasonable week. A good picture today, an engulfing bullish picture. So we would expect some follow-through buying next week. That could take us perhaps towards the 200-day 74.03. It would be positive if we get back above there, and the 20 moves back round. Momentum still slightly negative, but we are at the upper boundary of that downtrend on the RSI. If that can get back above 50, we could see a push up even towards the 50-day 74.58. So that's been TA for traders, looking at the sentiment and money flows in the market. I hope you found it of interest. Just a quick rundown on what's been happening through this week. Thanks for watching. These videos I do on YouTube are for information only, and they're not an investment recommendation. Please do read the disclaimer.